Okay, this objective is graphing linear equations. The directions are to graph the equations below. I do notice that there are equal signs in this problem, so there's no shading is necessary. Okay, y equals 5/3 x minus 4. Start with the number without the x on it, so start it and down at -4. And then from there, the slope is 5/3. So we're going to go up 5/3, and then we just get to connect those two dots, and we've got our line. Right, next one, 3x minus 4y equals 16. Again, in order to graph this one, we need to make it say y equals. So let's subtract 3x from both sides. So I'm going to get -4y equals 16 minus 3x. And then to get the y by itself, we're going to divide all three parts by -4. Don't forget the negative. So we'll get y equals 16 divided by -4 is -4. And then a negative divided by a negative is a positive 3/4 x. All right, now from here we're going to start down at -4, and then my slope is 3/4, so we're going to go up 3/4, and then we don't need to worry about solid or dashed again because there's no less than or greater than sign. So that's how we'd graph those ones. Okay, number 14, y plus 1 is equal to 1/2 x minus 8. This doesn't quite say y equals yet, so let's distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So we'll have y plus 1 equals 1/2 x minus 4, because 1/2 times 8 is 4. It still doesn't say y equals, so let's subtract 1 from both sides, so it will. So we'll get y equals 1/2 x minus 5. Now it's ready to graph. So I'm going to start with the number without the x. So we'll start down at -5, and then the slope is 1/2. So go up 1/2, up 1/2, and then I can go ahead and connect the dots to make a line. Right, x equals 5. If the x-axis is horizontal, an x equals line is going to be vertical. So we will go to x equals 5, and we can draw a vertical line. And we got it on that one. Okay, 16. Draw a line with a positive slope, B negative slope, C 0 slope, and D undefined slope. So A, I can draw any line as long as it has a positive slope. So starting at the left, going to the right, it needs to go up. And let's label that as A. Then I need a negative slope, same thing, but it's going to go down. So that would be B. We need 0 slope, which means it's just a flat line. So this would be C. And then an undefined slope is so steep we can't ski on it or walk on it. And so that would be one going straight up and down, and that would be D. So make sure you have labeled your 4 lines to show which one is which. Okay, 17, y equals -3. Again, if the y-axis is vertical, a y equals is going to be horizontal. So I just need to make a horizontal line down at -3. And there we go. Right, number 18, determine whether the data below models a function, then give the domain and range. So if we're looking at our x's and y's, I notice that 1, 6, and 1, 10 are points, and every input is only allowed to have 1 output, and 1 has 2 outputs, so I'm going to say no on this one, and I'll say, whoops, 1 has 2 outputs, so that's no good. And then we need to give the domain and the range. The domain is all the x values, so we can just list them. 1, 2, 3, and I've already listed 1, so I'm not going to list the 1 again. And the range is just a list of all the y values, so we'll just get 6, 8, 9, and 10. Right, and then number 19, write a linear equation for the function below. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. I can just look for a pattern. I notice each time if I multiply the x by 4, I'll get 4. If I multiply this x by 4, I'll get 20. If I multiply this x by 4, I'll get 32. If I multiply this x by 4, I'll get 40. So one way of looking at this, I just noticed a pattern. Every x is getting multiplied by 4. So I could just put y equals 4x. Another way to do this is, it did say to write a linear equation, so I could just pick 2 points. So let's say I pick these 2 points right here. I'd have to find the slope. So it's going to be the y minus y, so 20 minus 40, and then over 5 minus 10. That would give me -20 over -5, which equals 4. And so I'd have y equals mx plus b. And then I get to pick one of the points. I think I'll pick this point right there. So my y is 20, my m is 4, my x is 5 plus b, and I'll get 20 equals 20 plus b. We'll subtract 20 from both sides, so I get b equals 0. So my equation, again, is just 4x. So either way, whatever way makes sense in your brain, is the way you should do that problem.